There is a race none can win. No matter your skill or execution.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
No matter how hard you try. But if instead of looking to win, you approach it differently. If you control everything you can, while accepting anything you can't. If you disregard any and all opposition, focusing solely on your own way. If, whenever you need to, you don't hesitate to restart the clock. And leave to others the counting of its seconds. You may come to realize that, actually, it never was a race to begin with. And if it isn't a race, then you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. The Cosmograph Daytona.
Yo, Original OC with you on the Original OC channel. It is Friday, the 10th of October, 2025. And I think some people have dubbed this like International Wear Your Watch Day or something like that. Who's the organization that tried to do that? International Watch Day 2020. Yeah, it's a... Today is World Watch Day. I guess it's World Watch Day because of 1010, which is the famous time setting that many manufacturers use as the default time on their watches. But yeah, today is in World Watch Day. Congratulations, everyone. Today we'll be doing live coverage of the New York watch auction. It's an online auction. If you want more information about this auction, let me see if I can pull it up. I'll drop a link in the chat here. If you want to know about this particular auction, yeah, I'll drop the link here in the chat. Boom. And there is the link. I'm in the middle of a cold, so I will not be doing much talking today. I'll just let the auction run, and I'll be lazy, and you guys can kind of enjoy the auction a little bit. But it should be starting momentarily. Let's see who's in the chat. We got Matthias in the chat. What's up, Matthias? Mr. Tutor to You is in the chat. What's up, Mr. Tutor to You? And Jen G. Yeah, well, thanks for doing the coverage, OC. Happy to do it. I'm just going to be, it's going to be super lazy. because I don't want to kill my throat. I'm just recovering from a cold. Let me know if the music's too loud. There's a little bit of music playing in the background. I'll flip over to the auction in a couple of minutes, and you guys can check out the auction. It's not a lot. It's not an auctioneer-based auction. It's just an online auction where the lots will be. Let me switch over to it. Hold on a second here. Yeah. We're ready to go here. Boom. I'll move myself over here. I might take myself off the screen entirely so you guys can see what's going on. Hey, I got Stefan in the chat. What's up, Stefan? Member of the OC channel, by the way. Shout out to all the members. You have a star next to your name. You are a member. I definitely appreciate it. We are the #1 channel on YouTube that does live streams with the highest percentage of members. So that I think is a testament to the awesome community that we have. And boom, there's the link for memberships. If you want to upgrade your memberships, or if you're watching for the first time, let me throw up a banner if you're watching for the first time. Boom. Yeah, this is the original OC channel on YouTube, Smart Watch Talk for the Smart Collector. We do live streams, unplanned, ad hoc live streams on this channel whenever there's breaking news or new releases or anything new in social media, or if you just want to shoot the shit about whatever's going on in the watch space. Dear Artifact, reach for the cough syrup. Yeah, Wilson, we don't have cough syrup here, but we do have Mucinex. We have Mucinex, and because I am very proactive when it comes to my health, I'm already on antibiotics, even though they aren't warranted or necessary. That's just how I roll. My body, I very rarely get sick. So when I feel something weird in my body, I know like something's wrong really quickly. So yesterday around 10:30 a.m., I was having some coffee. I felt a weird thing in my throat. Like, you know what? That feels weird. I'm getting sick. By 2 o'clock, I had an appointment. By 3 o'clock, I had my antibiotics. By 3:15, I had my Martinelli's apple juice and my erythromycin, and I was rocking. Combine that with the vitamin C and the other stuff, and I'm on the road to recovery. I feel not great, but I probably feel better than I sound. We got the Dear Artifact in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Appreciate it. I got Mir A. Yo. This auction is starting momentarily. I'm just going to like sit here and not talk about it. You guys can talk about it in the chat. You guys are far more knowledgeable than I when it comes to these watches, so you guys can follow the auction. I'll turn up the music a little bit and talk amongst yourselves. I can't. No one wants to hear me talk with this raspy, rough voice anyway. But if you have questions or comments in the 3 minutes before the auction kicks off, let me know. Let me move myself down there. I might just remove myself there. It's much better without the OC on the screen. Let's see if I can move this a tad up. Boom. There we go. I can see everything. You can see the current bids. There we go. How does that work? Does that work, or should we make it bigger? Let's see. Boom. Yeah, you can't see everything on the screen that way. Let's go back to making it smaller. There we go. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes until we get going. We have an auction. is the market doing? All of the offerings for the have been released. Talk about which even there here on what is the and we're back. Internet gremlins, I think that was. Let's go back. Go back to your action. Go back to the action. You guys, is this better? Let me know if we're back. Let me know if we're back. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. We should be back. All right. Thanks, Amir. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, we are 1 minute away. 1 minute away from kicking off this auction. Phillips online auction. Yeah, I got crappy internet today. Let me close some windows. Amir A says, did you see the new George Clooney AP? No, I did not. I have not seen the new George Clooney AP. Let me turn on, I'm going to turn on the comments. Boom. The comments now are on the screen. Type in a comment. Let me know if you like that. Let's see here. I wonder if I click on this. If it goes automatically to the next one. Let's find out. It's kind of boring because there's no real action. Like boom, this one's closed. 26,000 for this Grunfeld. That's it, done, sold. Yeah, it's kind of a pain because it just stays on that page. It should just move to the next page. That's it. I'll let you guys do your own commentary. You got enough knowledgeable people in the chat. You don't need me talking over. So I'm assuming the music's good. 15450 steel, 37 millimeters, sold for $24,000. By the way, if anybody wants to jump on the panel and do their own commentary, feel free. I can't talk. But no, I'm not surprised that George Clooney did an AP collaboration. Shout out to George Clooney. God, it doesn't work with the. I'm going to take the comments off. Boom. Wow, Richard Mille RM11 sold for $110,000. boring live auction coverage. It's the Phillips online auction live from New York. The fall 2025 auction, October 10th, 2025. The Phillips Watches online auction. Could you be more bored? I fell asleep. I think the auction is drawing to a conclusion, and when it does, if I'm up to it, maybe I'll do a little bit of watch talk. Let's see if they have any lots left here. One last lot number 74. Let's see here. We'll let it close out, and then we'll put it out of its misery. The watch market is in a state of paralysis. By the way, coming up in just 2 minutes, we have, thanks to Amir, final watch of the day, a ugly Vacheron Overseas. Only 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left. And it looks like it's going to close out at 17,000. Boom. And done. All right. Let's pivot to watch talk, and I'll kill the music. Breaking news from George Condo, whoever the hell that is. George Condo released a fantastic collaboration with Audemars Piguet. And listen, I'm not a big art person. I don't know art. So who am I to judge? Maybe this is really cool. I don't know. I mean, maybe you guys in the chat have a different opinion. I have no idea. But this is artwork. Guys, this is high horology. This is hot horology with an AU and an E on the end. Okay. This is the George Condo AP code 1159, the latest in a long string of daring, bold, and avant-garde collaborations for Audemars Piguet. Now, I don't even know who this guy is, but listen, he's doing something with AP. Let's see what he's doing here. check out this video. You can find him, by the way, on artist George Kondo. That's artist George Condo on Instagram. And this post has been liked by over 1,000 people, including our good friend Yoni Ben Yehuda. What's up, Yoni? Good to hear from you. Hope all is well. But look, Yoni likes this watch. If Yoni likes it, maybe it's a really cool watch. Now, I'm not an art person. So like I see something like this and I see like I don't see good stuff. I don't like it. But that's because I don't know anything about art. And you guys in the chat, you guys are like art aficionados, right? So you guys know all about good art. And so you're probably thinking, you know what, OC, you don't know what you're talking about. This is a beautiful watch. And that's listen, you're entitled to your opinion. Who am I to disagree? Art is beauty and artwork is in the eye of the beholder. But yeah, the latest collaboration from Audemars Piguet is with artist George Kondo. And yeah, check it out. It's got Kondo written there with, it looks like a couple of earths, a couple of globes, a couple of depictions of the planet Earth there for the letter O. And then you have some some clouds, I guess. Are those clouds? Or are those rocks? I'm not quite sure. You've got a tourbillon there. You've got weird looking hands. You know, I don't know what to say. Let's go to the chat. And let's get your opinion. Jen G says, what is this abomination? What is this abomination? Abomination. What is this abomination? Let me look up abomination. Abomination, according to my Webster's dictionary, means most beautiful thing in the world. So Jen G is a big fan. What is this abomination? She loves it. Jen G really loves it. Hey, I support Jen G's love of artwork. Doc Mick in Florida, who is a member, says ugly. Very, very harsh. You must not be a fan of art. You must not like hot horology. Because this is artwork. This is art. Art is life. Life is art. MD Chaz says, is that a 4 or and M on the right hand side? That, let's see if we can blow this up a little bit. No, it's on the right hand side, it's a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Yeah, it's a 4. Yeah, it's a 4. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Would you like for it to be an M? I mean, we can change it for you. Listen, artwork has no bounds. If you need for us to commission one with a M instead of a 4, happy to do it. But I think this may be a piece unique, guys. Maybe a piece unique. The George Kondo AP code 1159 tourbillon. Gorgeous watch. Doc Mick says, who would butt that? Who would butt it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who would butt it, who would buy it, who would bull it, who would bum it. No, add any letter to the end of that 3-letter word. I'm not sure if they would do anything. Listen, it's art. It's art, Doc Mick. You don't get it. It's obvious that some of you guys in the chat don't understand art. Okay? You have to understand that Audemars Piguet wants to engage with artists, okay, who do real artwork. And that may not be you. If you're not a fan of this, listen, I'm going to go out on a limb. If you're not a fan of this, you're not a fan of AP. Okay? Because AP means bold, avant-garde, polarizing collaborations. And if you don't like it, tough. Thank you to Amir for letting us know about this new collaboration. The AP Code 1159 Condo, available now as a piece unique. Now, I want to cover something else that's on Instagram. I'm not going to cover Jizz Club. I just don't have the energy to cover Jizz Club today. But I've been made aware of a few new reels from Jizz Club, and I'm just not going to cover it. I don't have the energy. I don't. But what I will cover today is a post, actually a story, and I don't know who this is, but I'm happy to give them a shout out. Circle of Watch on Instagram. Okay, where'd you go? Circle of Watch, boom. Nope. I want to pause it. That's what I want to do. Pause. All right. Paused. Now, I kind of agree with this person, whoever this person is. He dropped a couple of stories on Instagram, and I would like to read them for you. It's story time on the Original OC channel. Story time. But I don't disagree with what he has to say because I've been saying this for the past several weeks. Lesson for Friday night. Well, it's Friday afternoon here in the United States, but he may be in Europe. Lesson for the watch community, guys. Honestly, the watch scene today is full of influencers who've never achieved anything real in life, yet somehow think they set the tone for everyone else. Every week they hype up some random new release and glorify whatever nonsense the brands put out as if it were revolutionary. It's become pure noise. What a joke. Time might be precious, but integrity should be precious too. And I just want to, if you know Circle of Watch on Instagram, please send him a note on my behalf. Let him know that Original OC agrees 100%. Let me see if I can find his account on Instagram. And I'll drop the link. Let him. But send him a message. Let him know that OC covered his post on a live stream. Check out Circle of Watch on Instagram. But he's spot on. I've been saying for weeks now. And listen, I said it when those TikTok influencers were invited to Rolly Fest. And I went on the air and I said it was a huge mistake for Jeff Hess and the organizers of Rolly Fest to invite these fucking clowns, absolute clowns to Rolly Fest who made a fucking mockery of the event. And I really wish, and I know Jeff's listening, and I know people will be sending Jeff clips of this, and I think he understands this is not negative. This isn't really a criticism. This is just, my opinion, and I think he understands it. It was a mistake to bring these douchebags into the event. It is a mistake to allow people to take video in the event. It's not consistent. Listen, it's his event. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, right? I don't want to tell him what to do. I'm just giving him my opinion. And listen, I don't go to Rolly Fest, so it's not my deal. I was out of the country during Rolly Fest this year, so I couldn't go. And I also couldn't go because I'm never invited. So it's no big deal. I'm not. It doesn't matter to me, but it does. It should concern us all. We enthusiasts and collectors in our community, that these influencers continue to be invited to these events just so they can do these douchebag fucking TikToks and Instagrams. I guarantee you that if I am invited to an event like this, I don't fucking live stream from it. If it's an event like 1916 Company or Booger Watch Week or whatever, and they want me there to live stream it, of course I'm going to live stream it. But the whole idea of Rolly Fest is that it's exclusive and it's private and it's invite only and it's a secret and it's a if you know kind of event. And I'm very disappointed and disheartened to see Rolly Fest become one of these. And I'm confident that he will reverse course and he'll change it for next year. And those people will not be allowed anywhere near the event. And I don't think people should be doing video. I think it should be a no video event. And I don't think he should be putting out videos. And I don't think he should be doing tons of press. Listen, he doesn't need the press. He's Jeff Hess, head of Watches at Sotheby's, founder and organizer of Rolly Fest. He doesn't need to be fucking doing interviews with the New York Times and all this shit. Like, oh, I do an event. We know. The people who know should know. The New York Times doesn't need to fucking know. Keep it exclusive, bro. That's my advice to Jeff Hess. Keep it private. Keep it invite only. Keep it exclusive. And bar the use of photography. There should be only one photographer there, your photographer, and that's it. And everybody else should not be allowed to use cell phones and shoot video. And these awful, awful influencers should not be allowed in the event. Now, just to recap what Circle of Watch says, he says, honestly, the watch scene today is full of these, I'm going to paraphrase here, full of these douchebag influencers who've never achieved anything real in life. That's true. And there's so many popping up now. And it's embarrassing for our hobby. It's embarrassing for our community. They try to latch on like parasites. Yet somehow they think they set the tone for everyone else. Every week they hype up some random new release and glorify whatever nonsense the brands put out as if it were revolutionary. It's become pure noise. What a joke. Time might be precious, but integrity should be precious too. And that brings up another point that I want to highlight. And that is, let me just send a note real quick. I'm just going to send a note. Yeah, I think there's some influencers out there that listen, they buy subscribers, they buy views, they have no real substantive opinions of their own. Some of them are dealers, and the dealers are the worst ones, to be honest. And they're out to accept gifts from the brands. They're there to kind of get ingratiated by the brands with, trips and junkets and I don't know, free watches to review and all that stuff. And listen, that is an absolute joke, an absolute joke. Okay. And listen, all you have in this life is your is honesty and integrity. And when you're out there just spruiking all these terrible brands, oh my god, this is so cool. Oh my god, this get fucked. But yeah, this is so there's two groups of influencers out there. They're the ones who are just the douchebags, and that includes the dealers, and then there's the people who are on the take. They are on the take, make no mistake, and that rhymes. MD Chaz says auctions like Sotheby's love for free promotion. Yeah, but the thing is, it's not a Sotheby's event. It's not a Sotheby's event. It's a Rolly Fest event. It's a special. It's a invite only private secret get together 2-day event just for what originally started off as vintage Rolex collectors. Started auctions like Sotheby's love free promotion and uneducated buyers, says MD Chaz, who's a member of the channel, by the way. Sounds like a perfect relationship with social media influencers. Well, I get your point. I get your point. But this has had nothing. The event had really nothing to do with Sotheby's. So I'm going to take issue with that a little bit, MD Chaz. Influencers should be nowhere near this event. Or invite them, but prevent them from taking video. That's the thing to do. Starve them of content. Oh, you want to come and bring your vintage watches? Bring them, but you can't take any pictures and you can't take any video, and you can't do your stupid TikToks. How about that? Now, the next thing that Circle of Watch says is equally interesting. Equally interesting. He or she lesson. As a longtime collector, be interesting to hear your thoughts on this and your reaction. As a longtime collector, it never ceases to amaze me how dealers treat their clients. They lie to your face repeatedly and shamelessly. Meanwhile, the most sought after pieces go straight to the so-called influencers or so-called VIPs. It's ridiculous. And the reason those people get the watches should be obvious to anyone. Wow. Sales staff are being bribed directly or indirectly. Events, vacations, flights, clothes, you name it. Wow, these are bold accusations from Circle of Watch. Most of these people have zero purchase history with the dealer, which is just an insult to those who've been patiently waiting for something special. But wait, according to the dealers, every watch is something special, right? The industry is eating itself alive. I'll be glad when it finally collapses. It would be nothing less than deserved. Wow. Wow. That is full of interesting tidbits there. The first one is one with which I must agree, and that's the notion that people who aren't fans of the brand, just get hot watches because they're social media people, and that's wrong. But the other notion is that sales staff are being bribed. I don't have any direct evidence of that. Listen, there's a lot of shenanigans that go on at the authorized dealer, and depending on the brand, maybe, more or less. Sales staff are being bribed directly or indirectly. Events, vacations, flights, clothes, you name it. That is fascinating. I don't have any direct evidence of that. We know that it happens. Okay. We know that it happens. To what degree and how often is up for debate. Now, if you have any direct evidence of that happening, jump on, share your story. But I did want to cover this Instagram post today. I don't want to cover Jizz Club today. I don't think my opinion matters all that much. It really matters what you guys think. Really would prefer to have more people on the panel kind of discussing it, because I think it's an important issue to talk about, because he's a real world example of an influencer who wants to jump the line. Here's a personal question for me. Although Lefty 1999, I think, has been on the channel before. I think you're not a member, but I know you're a subscriber. Thank you for being a subscriber. Lefty 1999 asks, OC, what made you get into watches in the last few years? As I understand it, you didn't like them before. Great question. Well, it's not that I didn't like them. It's just that I didn't really have a huge interest in them. I told you the story. I've told the story before, but my dad was never really into watches. But sometimes when he would go on vacation to like Japan or these different places, he'd come back and he'd bring a watch. And but he wasn't really into watches. Oh, look, it's an automatic watch. How cool! Like it, you wear it on your wrist, and it. Back then, I guess automatic watches were a relatively new thing. It's like you put it on your wrist and you don't have to wind it. Ooh, interesting. When my and there were like the watches that he had that were old, like replicas of a Piaget and replicas of a Rolex and things like that. And when my dad died, I found those watches and I kept them. And my dad died in 2012. And by the way, if you want to see, like, here's an actual watch. I actually don't want to show the watch because it's like a black dial replica of a Daytona. It kind of looks like a Daytona. And when I was turning 50, I went to the authorized dealer, made an appointment, and I said, I'd like to get a few watches, just in memory of, not in memory of my dad, but like my dad always had this black dial kind of Rolex Daytona watch. And I ended up getting a real one in real life. So that was, a way of, that's how I got into watches. COVID generation. I'm a COVID generation watch collector. I joke around sometimes. It's like, oh, I've only been into watches for like 4 months or whatever. But, I've been in the hobby for 5.5 years. 5.5 years. I got in right when COVID started, and started watching YouTube and getting interested in learning more about watches. Never hated them, but never really collected them either. But before I had And I always wore a watch, not a mechanical watch. So, like for example, you want to see this? Yeah, I'm sure you do. Check this out. This is an old fossil watch. What do you think of this thing? This was mine, by the way. This was my watch that I wore. I have the receipt for it. I can't remember when I got it. But this, for those of you who know me, you know that I like kind of Movado style designs. This is a fossil, and as you can see, like it looks very much like a Movado with like the big fake jewel up at the top. Minimalist dial, almost looks like a black onyx dial with a, I don't know, this is a pretty small watch actually. The bracelet I don't love. So I had fossil. Yeah. This is my watch I keep in my drawer right here. And what else? I had a Movado as well. Where did it go? Don't know where the Movado is. So yeah, I started buying watches in 2020, and I bought way too many watches in a 2-year period. I bought Sea Dweller 43, which I'm wearing today. Check it out. Sea Dweller 43 was my first Rolex. I bought this in, I think it was June of 2020. I bought a lot of watches in a very short period of time. A two-tone root beer, Zenith Chronomaster El Primero, an Omega Seamaster Diver 300M, Black Dial Daytona, a two-tone bluesy, a Pepsi, like all within like about, Sky Dweller, Sprite. I've literally had like every GMT. A lot of those aren't in the collection anymore. So, yep, that's the story. Thank you, Lefty. Please don't make me content on other channels. I like how some people come here and they actually ask legitimate watch questions, which is cool. It's a good thing about the channel. Cool watch content. So yeah, and so there are influencers out there who are destroying the hobby, and they should not be getting watches. And that includes Jizz Club and a whole bunch of other people some of them are buying subscribers, buying views. And listen, you don't have to do that. Grow your channel organically. Look, I have 1,000 subscribers here. It doesn't matter if I would rather have, 500 subscribers than to have 5,000 or 50,000 and those subscribers be fake and bought, and then they never engage with the channel. That makes no sense. Why would you even do that? Unless you're trying to position yourself as some kind of popular influencer with the brands. Why? So you can go to a fucking Oris event and see the new Oris? Who gives a fuck? I mean, seriously, who gives a fuck? If that's what you're chasing, man. It's not worth sacrificing your integrity. So, but it's good. It's good to be recognized, for example, as the number one channel that does live streams, the number one rated channel in subscriber engagement. that's a metric that I'm really proud of. It means that the people who engage with this channel, it's a higher percentage of the subscribers than any other channel that does live streams. That's pretty good. And by the way, we're number one in membership engagement as well. We have a higher percentage of subscribers who are members than any other live streaming channel. But that's a result of not buying views and not buying subs. When you buy subs, they're not going to watch. When you buy subs, they're not going to comment. They're not going to engage with the chat. And YouTube knows that. And just people know it, But yeah, check this out. Honestly, the watch scene today is full of influencers who've never achieved anything in real life, yet somehow think they set the tone for everyone else. Every week they hype up some random new release. Yeah, and it's always something from I don't like to use the term garbage brand, but a brand that they would never buy themselves and that they shouldn't be recommending to their followers. Hype up some random new release and glorify whatever nonsense the brands put out as if it were revolutionary. Now, I don't know if he's using the word revolutionary intentionally to refer to, listen, we're just going to call it as we see it here. If he's using the term revolutionary as a way of mentioning Waco and Revolution Watch, I think that's a criticism that should be discussed. Is Waco the kind of influencer that just glorifies any new release, regardless of its merits? It's become pure noise. What a joke. Time might be precious, but integrity should be too. Doc Mick in Florida says, "You mean like Asheen's subscribers?" I don't subscribe to Asheen. It doesn't do like the kind of content that interests me at all. It's like I don't think he even does videos anymore. I just think he does like a live stream every week where he like begs for super chats or something. I'm not quite sure. I don't watch. I don't subscribe. It's not my cup of tea. If you watch that kind of stuff, good for you. I don't know, but it is well documented that up until about 3 years ago, he had 38,000 subscribers, and that's a very respectable number of subscribers in the watch space. It's awesome. But it is clearly documented that once he saw Britt Pierce gaining in popularity, Britt Pierce went to 80,000, then over 100,000, then over 200,000, I believe. That he engaged in systematic buying of subscribers. And listen, that means 80%, easily 80% of his subscribers are fake. It's just no denying that. I don't know why he wanted to do it. But you have to ask him. Ask him in the chat. I don't know. I don't watch. But it's quite obvious. He fires up one of his live streams to ask people to donate, and there's 200-300 people there. He used to buy viewers too, so it looked like there are 800 people watching. There are not 800 people watching. There's barely 200 or 300. So. Yeah, integrity is the most important thing. And when you buy subscribers, you buy viewers, just to try and make your channel or your social media presence look appealing to brands. Yeah. Hey, Vamal's in the chat. What's up, Vamal? There needs to be a ban on YouTube titles like, "Is this release the new Sub Killer?" Yeah, that's the way of pushing entry level brands that are under $100,000, under $1,000. they're typically homages to the Rolex Submariner, and I'm not going to be buying any watches under $10,000. I think that should be your limit as well. Like I say, you shouldn't be buying anything other than Rolex or Patek Philippe at this point. Maybe AP if they offer you a great watch. And if you can afford it, Richard Mille or FP Journe. Those are the brands that I endorse, the brands that I support. So that's it. I mean, good show. Good show, everybody. And now I will bid you adieu and have a great Friday. I'll catch up with you again soon. Peace out. Upvote the live stream. Upvote the live stream on your way out. If you're watching on the replay, leave a comment. And I will reply to your question or comment. Peace out, guys. Have a great Friday.